Today, we dive into a question asked by many VW Polo Vivo owners and many aspiring owners. So, which is the question? So today we're going to be looking at how much does it really cost to service one of these vehicles. And specifically, we're looking at 120,000k service. So buckle up as we took our VW to VW Arcadia for a full checkup. But before we get into the nitty-gritties, let's pop the hood and see what powers this beauty. So underneath we had a 1.6 liter naturally aspirated engine that puts out about 77 kilowatts and 153 newton meters of torque, which sends its power through a 6-speed automatic transmission. This engine is known for its reliability and efficiency, which is one of the most reasons why people love and buy a Polo Vivo. And speaking of efficiency, on this day I was running this baby on a reserve tank just to show how fuel efficient these vehicles really are. I'm just kidding, guys. Tough times are lasting. But anyway, without any further ado, we headed over to VW Arcadia to get our baby serviced. And if you're driving a Polo Vivo, as much as these vehicles are bulletproof, just keep in line with your services to make sure that your baby runs forever to avoid any headaches down the line. Once we arrived, we queued up and filled out our checklist form. And while I was there, Joe, I couldn't help but just notice these beautiful machines. The Golf 8 GTI and the Golf 8R. Man. One day's one day. But anyway, if there's anything that stood out to me at VW Arcadia was the level of care they took with my car, because they covered the driver's seat and the footwells with plastic to avoid any oil and grime and things like that, because you know when they just working on the cars. After all, it's the little things that make the big difference, man. But anyway, with everything sorted, we had to leave the car behind and waited for the important call to pick it up. After all, when you're waiting for a little TLC, patience is important. After some time, one call, hey, CJ, your trans is ready, Joe. And I couldn't wait to see what they've done. So what exactly does 120,000 kilometer service on a Polo involve? So let's break it down. First things first was the labor. The mechanic working on a vehicle charged us 1,988 Rand just for the labor, but that's just the start. You might be wondering what parts were replaced during the service. So with that being said, let's jump into it. So here are the parts that were replaced. First of all was the air filter at just 189 Rand. Secondly was the spark plugs at just 149 Rand, basically 150. Thirdly was the oil filter at just 189 Rand. And a dust filter at 501 Rand. And lastly was the drain plug screw, which is the plug which is the screw that's screwed underneath the vehicle after draining out your oil, which was just a mere 32 Rand. And that brought our total cost of parts to about 2,005 Rand. But we're not done yet. There are also a few consumables like your grease and your oil that total to about 640 Rand. So summing it all up, the total cost of the service before VAT was about 4,634 Rand. And after adding about 15% VAT, which came to about 695 Rand, the final bill to service our Polo Vivo came to about 5,330 Rand. Cost of living is high, guys. 5k for a Polo Vivo. But anyway, and there you go. That's how much it costs to service a VW Polo Vivo at 120,000 kilometers. It might seem like a lot, but considering the peace of mind and the reliability that comes with the vehicle, in my opinion, I'll say it's definitely worth it, hey? Also, it comes with a dealer stamp after all.